Glass half full, Rangers have earned 14 of a possible 20 points in their first 10 games. Glass half empty, it should have been 15.
I like half full a little bit better. You know what bothers me is that it's a team game, right? And it's very hard to single out individuals sometimes in a loss because they're just one mistake, and sometimes players learn from those mistakes. They don't happen again, and that's why the game is one where you could say, we learned something from it, take the information from the loss and use it for the future. Here's the thing. The Rangers win the specialty teams game, but they lose at 5-on-5, right? And there's 2 plays in the third period by defensemen that lose the game. Or you could say that those scoring opportunities were very opportunistic from the Vancouver Canucks. But on the first one, Miller turns around. Keandre Miller turns around. It's very similar, if you remember the play that Trouba broke up with 3 minutes to go in Nashville, where he backed into the defenseman and then took away the pass to Yossi. Those plays happen in a game, and I like to use those ones as an example because the teams that defend around their net, specifically on the cross-ice pass, the best, are always going to take a run in the playoffs. In the pregame, you were talking about why do defensemen get paid right now? Well, the best guys are getting paid because they're playing both ends of the rink. Now, Miller loses his guy and his feet pivot towards his net. And when that happens, defensemen are going to get burned on that cross-ice pass. And then also on the Trouba play when he's defending the blue line, it's a bouncing puck that's not a puck that you should try and make a play on. It's a puck that you should have a defensive mindset on and settle and try and just get it off the boards and out and fight another day. It's not one to stick handle because he tries to manage it and make a play, and now it ends up behind your net, and it's a goal line out play that's very difficult for your goalie to stop. I would look at that as a coach and say, look, these are 2 individual plays within a team concept that we made 2 mistakes on, and these learning mistakes have to be learned so that we can be better in the third period in the future.
Yeah, and the third period goals came within the first 5+ minutes of the period by JT Miller and Vasily Podkolzin. That tied the game at 2, a game in which the Rangers were able to take a 2-0 lead in the second period. The first goal coming, both of them on the power play, but the first one coming from Mika Zibanejad just 2.5 minutes in.
Mika was great. I thought Panarin was great. Fox was great. Shesterkin was great. You know, and Kreider wasn't really going tonight. I didn't see much of Kreider out there. So you got 4 of your core 5 that were rolling along. And you have to say that the Rangers had control of this game because of plays like this. Defensively, Fox has a great stick, and now all 3 guys are moving up ice together. And the big guys are involved together. You know something good's going to happen. And Fox makes a play here on the entry where Zibanejad reads and goes wide on him. And Panarin's going to get into space so he can delay long enough for Zibanejad to get into that lane because there's open ice behind the Vancouver defense. And that's the team that you like to see right there. It's a team that defends in their own zone. We've been talking about how the Rangers have had a lot of success in their own zone, coming out as a group of 3 or 5 and then scoring the first goal of the game. So that was open to that theme, and it looked like things were rolling at that point.
Yeah, 9 minutes later, the Rangers got to go on the power play again when Vancouver got caught with too many men on the ice. And it took the Rangers 4 seconds, win a faceoff, set up a quick play, score a goal. It's Artemi Panarin.
Typically, when you see a face-off goal, it's not going to be a cute east-to-west play, and teams do have face-off plays. I just don't see them work that often, at least not frequently, but it's really this play right here. As soon as the puck gets to the point, get it across, shot. It's one of those few times in a hockey game where everybody's going to be on one side of the ice. There's a lot of traffic in front of the goaltender. You're going to get broken plays. You're going to get the benefit of those bounces. Smart play. And, you know, John, I don't know how much you think of it. I know you're a lefty. You're a lefty defenseman. But
well, in quotes.
In quotes, okay. So there's spin on the puck, and you'll notice that because Fox is a righty and he's always passing to Zibanejad or Panarin on the one-timer, he's putting clockwise spin on the puck, and that allows a righty to have an easier shot at a one-timer rather than a lefty. And that's what you'll see. And if you're a lefty, you're a lefty defenseman, so your pass is actually going to be counterclockwise, but you should always be passing to a lefty shot for a one-timer. Just a tip for his men's league. I know the guys at home that are watching will be enthusiastic about that.
I will not be looking to do that on Thursday night. So at that point, Rangers with a 2-0 lead. They get a point at the end of the night in no small part because of what they were able to do on the penalty kill. They had to kill off 6 penalties. They faced 13 shots on those power plays from the Canucks, and Igor Shesterkin was able to stop them all. If not for that, this might not have even gone to overtime.
There's a competitive spirit to his game that rises when his team is down. And it could be when the team is down because they're taking too many penalties and he wants to keep the team in the game. Or it could be when the team is fighting for footing in a game and they feel like they're down, but he's going to give you that spirit to battle. And John, I mean, it was every save through traffic again. And here's a goalie that has not allowed a goal through traffic all season long. A little bit of luck along the way as that puck goes off the shaft of his stick. But he's Velcro and he's high. You can see the way that he's looking over people in front of him. And like I said before, it's amazing to see him move east to west. This save reminds me of the one in Nashville where he went east to west and got a piece of it with his blocker. That's one of the best saves of the year. And then this sequence here where he battles in front. He even had the stick of Nemeth in his chest there as he scrambles. And that's why I like him too. It's like he's okay to come out of form. Some goalies are okay to get beat if they slide over correctly and they think their posture is perfect. I did everything I could. I was there. I was technically sound, but it got past me. There was nothing I can do. That's not his attitude. It's like, if I can't get there, Nemeth's stick is between his arms, and it looks clumsy, but he was tied up with a stick, and he still found a way. And I love the spirit of his game. And look, that was a game that you can say Igor Shesterkin went into Vancouver, gave his team a chance to win, and he did steal a point for the team.
Yeah, and it did set the stage for an overtime in which, at about the midway point, K'Andre Miller was on the ice, saw an opening, headed toward goal, and when he didn't get a shot to goal, but he was there, that actually left nobody behind him. JT Miller was sprung on a breakaway, and eventually it became the game winner.
It's a risk. It's a risk-reward game in overtime. If you're going to go for it, you better make it happen, and that's the way it is. The NHL is going to go back and forth. Every team is out there waiting to pounce, and it's a counterpunch. Miller's on the breakaway. Shesterkin makes an awesome save. He comes over the post. He just can't find the puck. Goudreau tries to help out, but Miller's first to it. And as you oftentimes see, the team that's attacking the net, finding the rebound, finds it first, usually buries it. It's always the benefit of facing the net as well when you see a team that has a rebound off a scoring chance. Unfortunate for the Rangers. I think that Shesterkin gave them every bit of opportunity to win the game. The guys just weren't able to bail it out.